Hey everybody, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Bruce Martin and I help cybersecurity companies generate more leads and close more deals. Today I'm going to show you a really innovative LinkedIn outreach technique. It gets up to 80% connection request acceptance rate. Yep, you heard that right. And it helps you start a lot more conversations. The only issue I have with it is that it works a little bit too well, so much so that it generates replies before you have a chance to pitch. And when you implement this, you'll see you'll have the same issue. Let's dive right in. Let me share my screen. The most important thing here first is the strategy, right? And so this document you see in front of you is actually the document I use for all of my clients. Simple, straightforward document that just outlines the strategy of a single campaign. A campaign will typically last about 14 days. I'm going to drop it in the description for free. You're welcome to use it as a template for your own outreach. Let's go through the structure. LinkedIn outreach messaging. Who are we targeting? Audience startup founders. Where in the United States? Who are the decision makers or persona? Yes, persona is a real word. It's the plural of persona. And no, I'm not the grammar police, but you can also say persona. Yeah, whatever floats. The strategy, we want to have the correct and current title as the persona detail, and they must have posted in the last 30 days. We want to extract those posts, then create custom connection requests using AI. Follow the below messaging sequence. I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. And for those of you who are familiar with the AI tools, you would know this as LGM or the growth machine. Once we start, we visit the profile, we add the connection request, we wait 30 minutes after they accept, send an AI voice note, then send a follow-up 7 days later, and another follow-up 7 days later if they haven't responded. And then we leave it alone for a couple of months if they still haven't responded. With an 80% connection acceptance rate, you're going to have a lot of conversations. So getting them to opt into subsequent lead magnets is going to be a little bit easier. Let's walk through the strategy, but also the messaging for this, right? First thing we want to do, we want to say, in our voice note, that is, we want to say first name, and this is the part that AI will generate for you through LGM, and we'll say, Bruce here, thanks for connecting. Just wanted to send a quick voice note to prove that, yes, I am indeed a real human, and you'll go through your pitch. We help startup founders. We'll go through this a little bit later. Our follow-up, we want to use the Justin Michael method 7 days later, and then just stamp some authority there and say, hey, thoughts, right? Okay, how do we start? First thing we need to do is we need to find an audience. In this case, we're looking for CXOs, directors, founders. Let's focus on the founder section of startups. Usually what we would use here is something like Crunchbase or a startup founder directory. Specifically, those have been funded in the last few months. For the purposes of what we're doing, we're not going to go through Crunchbase right now. Let's just keep it simple and let's just go straight to Sales Navigator. So let's head over to lead filters. We want that company type to be definitely privately held. We want company headcount to be pretty low. So let's look at maybe 1 to 10. We want the current job title to be, let's go with startup founder. And of course, we want that to be in the United States as per our strategy document. Now we have 1 or 2 more adjustments to make. We want to make sure that they've actually posted in the last 30 days. We want to check this box over here, toggle that on, and we should be left with just over 556 results. Great. Now what we want to do is we want to take this URL, give that a copy, and we want to scrape that data. I use Captain Data to scrape those posts. You can use Phantom Buster and a myriad of other tools to do that as well. I just like the flows that Captain Data affords us, right? Going through this, we drop in the URL, visit their profile, extract the LinkedIn company profile, aggregate it, then extract the last 2 posts. Let's do that quickly, right? Let's paste that in there, connect the account. That's me. Let's say we want to keep this simple. Let's just say stick with 25 leads. You can do up to 200 a week according to the limits that LinkedIn actually places on you. And then this is the number of posts. We just want the last 2 posts because a lot of times they'll just reshare or they'll post that they're hiring someone. And that's not really a lot to go on. All right, so let's go random YouTube title. And this is just for explanation purposes, and we're going to hit launch that job. That should take about 30 minutes to do because it's trying to protect your account as well. So we're not going to wait 30 minutes because I actually did this for you. And so if we head over to this document over here, let's go to the example sheet. I'm going to remove all of these. Right? This is the sheet that you're going to be left with. It is 116, 100 and odd fields. Yeah, 116 fields or columns. And we want to make this a little bit easier to navigate through. So let's have a quick look at this document. Full name, content text, right? At the moment, we can only do text. There are some ways to actually extract video and other formats. We're going to stick to text for now because it's sufficient for our purposes. Job title, and then we just need to add a field for connection node because that's our custom variable that we need to add. Now, it is possible to send it directly from our automation into our LinkedIn automation tool, but we want to vet some of these first before sending it off because you only get 200 a week and some of your deals might be larger than others. If you're going through this much effort to personalize your LinkedIn connection request, you probably have a bigger ticket size. Next step, to actually create those messages. And this is where make.com comes in, right? Let me give this a refresh here and find the URL or the spreadsheet ID rather, G ending with alt. That might already be connected here, but let's just make sure. Great. And let's go fetch the first 10 to make sure we're dealing with the correct data here. Run this module only. Oh, that's a huge failure. What have we got here? Right, let's give that another look. Example sheet. All right, let's try that again. Let's see. That is not going to work, so we need to take that / out. Save that. Let's see if that little tweak actually made it work. Yay! All right, ATA2 Financial Wellness. We're specialists in financial wellness. Great stuff. atu.co.za. Let's see if that is correct. The first one is atu.co.za. Great stuff. Right, our next step, and this is sort of where the magic happens. Let's just have a look at this filter. Our filter just makes sure that we don't overwrite the current content that we've already produced. So if a field does not exist in column DL, which is right over here, right at the end, if it does not exist, that's when we'll fill it. If it does exist, we just ignore it and move on to the next one. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What we've done here is we've actually added a bunch of actual responses, but also actual people and actual messages that we've sent out that have gotten responses, but more so, these responses have then turned into actual deals for both myself and my clients. So I've trained this on real world data. And when I say train, I really mean in context training. It's not fine tuning. It's not a RAG. It is just fine tuned to the point that it understands the pattern that we're looking for. And we give it enough examples so that you can see exactly where to go, how to phrase things. And I'll give you an example. Michelle Phillips, the content for her, there's no wrong place to work on your presentations. Currently putting the final touches on my presentation for Diffusion Festival. Great. A response. This was an actual response. Hi, Michelle. I saw your post about prepping for the Diffusion Festival. Love your no wrong place approach to presentation. Figured I'd reach out. Notice the spelling error, right? We want to add that to appear more human. Christoph, sorry if I butchered your name. Content text, space ads are coming. Recently been working on a few challenges. Great Stony Brook Farms. Let's move on. What's the icebreaker? Hi, Christoph. Saw your post on space ads. Haha, the 110-acre space made ad is brilliant. Figured I'd reach out. Right? You're beginning to see the point, I'm sure. I am dropping this in the description. Feel free to have a look, expand it if you want to. And then our final step here is to feed in the data from the spreadsheet so that we can actually generate all of these dynamic. Our prompt is very simple. It needs to be simple because we already have so much in-context training data. And we're using OpenAI's GPT-4 Omni. Just for those who've asked the last time, OpenWriter is an LLM aggregation platform that we can use any LLM out there with one API key, and there's literally hundreds of them. You also get to bypass a lot of the limits that they might place on you if you were to go with them directly, specifically talking about Claude and OpenAI right now. Let's give that a save. Our next step parses that to JSON. So let's do the first two and see if it kicks out a workable example for us. I'm going to unlink that over there just for a second. And just for this example, we're going to leave the JSON as the last step. Right. Okay. So it produced some JSON for us, and then it converted that, parsed that JSON. Hey, Mark, saw your post about asset managers and DFM's role, enhancing career plan advice. It's an important topic. Love to hear your thoughts on what changes could make the biggest impact. Figured I'd reach out. That's pretty good. Hey, Nicholas, saw your post about the milestone with the Buthelezi family office. Yeah, this is a really, really good post. And the Greenfield mining project, it's impressive how you're integrating sustainability into the gold mining process. Figured I'd reach out, would be great to connect. So I'm happy with the quality and the personalization. I'm going to reconnect these bad boys. That seems correct. Let's give this one a refresh, and let's scroll all the way to the bottom to column, I think it was column DL. Yep. And that should be our connection now. Let me just make sure we've refreshed this correctly, and let's save. And let's save this. Let's do the first 10 for the sake of brevity. Save, and let's run. Let's see if this will actually populate in real time. Oh, it does. So you post about asset managers. Yeah, let me zoom in just a tad. So you post about asset managers. I'm Buthelezi office. Anakin Souffle Malt, Chief Investment Officer, ABSA Group. These are looking good. Tammy McAdoo, love how you support fellow entrepreneurs like your work. Whoops. Go back there. Love how you support entrepreneurs and champions like your work in boosting small business growth and advocacy for African development is truly inspiring. Figured I'd reach out. The truly inspiring is a little bit much. How about we just take it to something is awesome, right? Let's be a little bit more real. AI can overdo it sometimes, and this is why we have this little vetting step. Although is inspiring is not that bad, but it's overused by a lot of AI models. And let's just remove this. I'm going to delete that. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can see more. Okay, what do we want here? We want everything from A to R. Do we care about that? Not really. Do we care about full name? No. Context? No. What we do want is first name. Yes. We want last name. Not really. LinkedIn profile URL. That's the one we want. So let's delete that. And the location, not really important because LGM will pull all of that data in for us. And of course, we want our connection node. So let's delete all of that. And let's give this a download as CSV. That'll save. And now for the important bits, right? In LGM, sign up for a free account. Let's head over to LinkedIn because this is a LinkedIn only campaign. And you'll notice that this looks an awful lot like this over here with the one difference. We're sending the voice note first, not second, right? So let's head back there. Let's create that campaign. All right, let's create a new audience, import that from CSV. Let's pull that in. Now let's do some mapping. First name, LinkedIn URL, connection node. This doesn't exist as a field to be mapped, so we have to create a custom variable for that, and that's all we really need. Let's call this custom connection. Let's copy that, create that audience, and let's give that a second to upload. Campaign created, 14 been saved. Guess it's importing 8 of 11, and that was quick, probably because it was such a short list. Right? We're not going to use LGM's magic messages because we've got our own magic messages. Contact request is going to include an invite note, and because that's a custom variable for all of them, we're going to map it to the one that we had earlier, and we're going to hit save. And what we should find now in the preview is that each one is custom to the person we're sending to. Hey, Cleola, saw your post. Hey, Nathaniel, saw your post. Hey, Ecos. And you see, even though we've imported as Miss Ecos, it actually corrected that for us. Hey, Ecos, saw your post about giving out school stationery in Johannesburg. Right. Fantastic. So that's exactly what we want. What we're going to do here, we're going to switch this to a voice note. right? And let's use the custom voice note over here. I'm English. I'm going to keep the symbols. What's going to happen here is that LGM is going to combine your voice note with a little bit of AI. The AI part is, hey, first name. So it'll say, hey, Bruce, hey, Martha, hey, Nkosi, hey, Carson. Whatever the name is, it's going to do that for you. And the rest of the pitch will stay exactly the same, right? So to do that, we're going to hit record. And let me see if I can find a way to split these two so I can read the recording. Oh, thank you. That worked. Right. There goes nothing. So remember, we're not going to say hi first name because AI is going to do that for us. We're going to start with Bruce here or thanks for connecting. Right. Thanks for connecting. It's Bruce here. First, I wanted to send a quick voice note to prove that, yes, I am indeed a real human. Second, we help startup founders close more enterprise deals and do business internationally by guiding them through some compliance hurdles like SOC 2, ISO 27K1, and more recently also the AI compliance standard ISO 42K1. We compiled a short one-pager to help you check off all the necessary boxes so you can assure your clients of their data security. Shoot me a thumbs up if I can send that over. If not, no worries and have a fantastic day. Thanks for listening. Right. Stumbled a little bit on that, but if you want to do it over, you click the bin icon and you can do it over. I'm going to marry these two bad boys. Let's give that a second. I don't need this anymore. And I'm going to switch the next message over to a text message, which is our follow-up message. Right. And for us, that follow-up message was this over here. So we want to drop that in there. It'll map it for us. First name, just help the 60-day-old B2B startup secure a multi-year contract with the compliance processes we put in place. It's worth a quick chat, right? Let's put on real chat style. This really helps. Save that. Let's see what that looks like. Just help the 60-day-old startup. It looks like it's doing a really good job. Fantastic. And our last one, keeping it simple, I want to say first name dash. Whoops. Fat fingers, don't fail me now. Whatever your name is. Save that. And then we want to launch. And that is how you get 50 to 80% connection acceptance rates. Right? So it's going to be a little bit more fathers, it's going to be less fathers. It depends on how active they are, depends on each specific batch. But if you're getting less than 50%, probably doing something wrong. Reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, obviously. Find me there. I'll put my link in the description as well. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Ciao.